The Watchtower cult is known as Jehovah's Witnesses. They have endured numerous changes regarding doctrines, practices, and beliefs. At the 2023 JW annual meeting, more changes were revealed regarding a very timely topic. Let's find out what these changes are. Governing body member Jeffrey Winder, why is the annual meeting such a big deal?
In recent years, the annual meeting has been an occasion where clarified understanding of Bible truths, a new light, has been announced and explained.
How is this new light revealed?
Well, for that we can turn to 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and read together 1 Corinthians 2, verse 10. For it is to us God has revealed them through His Spirit.
So it's revealed through Spiritism? Who does the Spirit reveal this new light to?
Well, for that, we can turn to the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and read together Matthew 24, verse 45. Who really is the faithful and discreet slave whom his master appointed over his domestics?
Who is this faithful and discreet slave?
In 2010, the Watchtower explained it this way. It said, when the time comes to clarify a spiritual matter in our day, Holy Spirit helps the faithful and discreet slave to discern deep truths that were not previously understood. The governing body as a whole considers adjusted explanations.
So the governing body is the faithful and discreet slave?
The governing body is the faithful and discreet slave.
Wait a minute. That verse in Matthew is a part of a story that is literally referring to Joseph being the faithful slave of the Egyptian Potiphar. Jesus never said this had any future meaning, so you're teaching a false doctrine. No answer, Okay, then do you have scriptural backing for the new light doctrine?
Proverbs 4:18. But the path of the righteous is like the bright morning light that grows brighter and brighter until full daylight.
Wait a minute. The context of that verse is a father giving his son advice. Look at the surrounding verses. It has nothing to do with gaining knowledge. You're making stuff up. Nothing to say? Whatever. Just so I got this right, can you sum it all up simply?
It comes about by means of the Holy Spirit, through His channel of the faithful and discreet slave.
Alright, for now, can you just tell me what the subject the new light is about?
The Great Tribulation.
I'll get back to you later. Right now, governing body member Jeffrey Jackson starts with a video timeline of some events during the Great Tribulation.
Again, although we can't be dogmatic as to the exact sequence of events, it appears that the final judgment takes place at the end of the Great Tribulation.
You can't be dogmatic? It appears the judgment is at the end? You don't sound too certain. Since you're introducing new light, what was the old light about people joining during the Great Tribulation?
There will not be an opportunity for people to join us at that time.
That's pretty harsh. Does the new light allow people to join during the tribulation?
According to the scriptures, it is a possibility that some can make a stand for the truth. The simple answer is, we don't know.
Would it be presumptuous of me to say, for a group of men who get direction from God, you don't seem to have many answers? We seem to have lost our connection to Mr. Jackson. Let's go back to Mr. Winder. Jeffrey, are you still here?
Yes.
I seem to have lost connection with Mr. Jackson. So let me ask you, why is it that men who get directions from God have to change things so often?
The governing body is neither inspired nor infallible, and so it can err in doctrinal matters or in organizational direction.
Wait a minute. You're telling people you get directions from God, but you're not inspired by God, And although you ask for God's direction, you can still be wrong. You should apologize to those whose lives have been harmed by your decisions.
Nor is an apology needed for not getting it exactly right previously.
You arrogant, pompous ass. Your policy decisions have resulted in tens of thousands of divided families and even thousands of deaths. And you have the gall to say no apologies are necessary? You and your cohorts in crime are blood guilty. What is your response to that? He must have a bad connection too. Oh well, I found a Watchtower quote I'd like to share with you. In the May 1st, 1997 issue, page 8, we read, Jehovah is also the great exposer of false messengers. How does he expose them? He frustrates their signs and predictions. In this way, he shows that they are self-appointed prognosticators, whose messages really spring from their own false reasoning. Yes, their foolish, fleshly thinking. Ask yourself, how many wrong predictions has the Watchtower organization made? Several, starting with 1914. How much new light have they given over the years? Too much to keep track of. Look at their record on the judgment of the Great Tribulation. In 1923, Rutherford said the sheep and the goats were being judged by Jesus then, in 1923. In the July 15th, 2013 Watchtower, it says Jesus will judge people of all nations as sheep or goats when he comes during the Great Tribulation. But in 2020, at the annual meeting, we hear this. The sheep and the goats are being judged now, in advance of the Great Tribulation. Well, just like they were in 1923. And now, 100 years after Rutherford's declaration, they say it won't be till the end of the tribulation. As the 1997 Watchtower says, they are self-appointed prognosticators. Just look at their record. It's a record full of foolish men's reasoning. Why would anyone want to follow this group of, in their own words, uninspired false messengers?